Hey guys, it's me Tom Fisher and welcome to a live reaction and breakdown of the new Battlefield reveal trailer. I'm joined here by Apache. We've already seen it. I'm instantly loving it. Now, we thought it was going to be called Battlefield 5 and it was going to be a World War II game. But I mean, we've been shocked. I'm shocked.
Yep.
World War
No
1
idea.
and it's called Battlefield 1. I'm pretty happy that they've done that now. Now, there's not many games. As you'll see, the main two factions, I'm just going to play the video, we're going to see the main two factions in the first couple of scenes, and I'm happy about this. It's one of the only games that's done this. There is another game called Verdun, which is a World War 1 game. There's actually a gameplay of that on my channel, so go check it out. It is, I don't know if it's going to be better than this, or worse than this, or if the gameplay is going to be the same.
Graphics will outgo this.
Yes, graphics will outgo it, definitely. Oh, for fuck's sake, I'm just... Hold on. Go back to... okay. So there is actually one more game like this. It's called Verdun. Now, graphics-wise, 100% better. Gameplay-wise, not sure.
Not sure.
Because in Verdun, you're not allowed to go out of your trench. You have to defend it for a certain period of time, and whilst they attack, and then you attack whilst they defend.
I definitely hope there's going to be a lot more freedom in this one compared to the last Battlefield.
Yeah.
So, like, more variety of vehicles, maybe.
Hopefully. Now, I was talking, as soon as it released, I instantly called up my friend, and he thinks that gun-wise, there's not going to be much to choose. Because I personally think that also, because in Verdun, you have certain classes which restrict you, and you have certain squads. So in a squad, you have 3 people rifles, but they have obviously grenades, the officer, and then you only have 1 machine gunner, and you have different things all in between. Now, I don't know if this is just going to be people spamming machine guns and running out the trench doing whatever they want, or going to be the same as Verdun, where there's always a planned attack.
Well,
or
maybe because you can see in the first shot, I don't know whether you're looking at this, but in the first shot you can see the German is wearing a gas mask. So maybe that will give some team players an advantage in some areas, therefore leading to probably some tactical advantages in some areas, and then the machine guns probably can't hit them there.
So we're looking at it now.
Playing this game.
We're looking at it now, and instantly, like I said, we see the main two factions, the British and the Germans. Now, obviously, Western Front World War 1. I would expect to see the French. Now, I don't know if there's going to be other teams, but possibly the French. They were also on the Western Front, but I'm very happy. Like I said, there's not many games that have a British military towards them, because it's always the iconic American military, but I'm really happy towards this. Now, instantly, we see the weapon of choice, a mace. This is a bat with metal spikes in it, used for close combat trench warfare, when the Germans especially, they used this to attack an enemy trench, and there were certain men who were trained to use this, but others used a shovel, and this kind of represents, I think this means we can pick our own melee, and it won't just be a knife that you use every now and then, that won't be a one hit kill, but I think it's going to be
different takedown animations as well.
Possibly a main weapon, and you can see that's lots of blood. Instantly, I love it.
You could say that it's probably going to be something that each team's going to have. The British will probably have like a bayonet with their rifles, and
now,
the Germans could have
in the Twitch stream, they did mention some weapons. I will talk about their favourite ones, so they kind of leaked a bit more information here. Bayonets. You can attach a bayonet to the end of your weapon and charge. That wasn't shown in this necessarily, but I'm happy one of the developers said that, because it does mean there will be lots of different variants for different types of teams, factions, countries. But I mean, it's not just the mace I'm looking at here. You mentioned it, their gas mask.
Yep.
In the trailer further on, you will see gas being used, and a soldier putting on his gas mask. We'll do that in a second, but we'll talk about that later. But there's so much more in between. We can see air defences in the back, hot air balloons to take out enemy aircraft,
flak cannons.
That could mean
artillery. There's probably going to be a lot of separate aircraft
Indeed.
gameplay above the battlefield, so maybe more variety.
You will indeed
aircraft.
see aircraft in this trailer, and oh my god, I was very happy. It looks like there's going to be air superiority, another game mode like that in here. But we're going to have a look.
Like two-seated aircraft. With your own
Yes.
gunner, so
Now, in this, so what else we see? We see barricades, trenches, obviously, close trench warfare, gas masks. But what the troopers are going to look like, especially if you look at this German, he's wearing his grey, his flat helmet, and the Brit has his wide helmet, his brown. They look amazing. But let's move on, and instantly we see a horse and cavalry. Now, I don't know if this means instead of like a jeep, you could have a horse and go in cavalry warfare. I don't know how they.
Pretty damn.
That would
Especially
be.
in that scenery with
Yes.
a sword, and then you're just gonna feel right in the moment. It's gonna be completely
Charging an enemy
separate
front
from
line
the
with some
warfare
other
games.
buddies and horses, whilst infantry charge in. But I don't know how they're gonna make the sword gameplay. That is what I'm worried about.
That's something. They could get that really. They could make them too overpowered. They could make them too weak, where no one would use them. But if you could ride a horse with maybe
A couple of
firearms,
That
like-
would be wise.
that
but
like a nice
We're
little
gonna have to
machine
find
gun
out.
with
Now
your
this is actually female. This is a female character now. I don't know if that means player
Campaign.
selection.
campaign.
There we go. Campaign.
That
Possibly
could
we
mean
see some campaign gameplay here. Or it might mean character customization more in depth.
with those face markings.
Now,
you can see if you,
Yes. If we play on, right here, face markings. Right there. Not too much of it. Just a quick glimpse. And now I've accidentally gone into the next scene. But let's talk about this. It's quite dark. Let's see if I can get the right... There we go. This right here is amazing. You have a clear view of no man's land, artillery, trenches, and as you said, 2-player pilots, or planes. A back gunner for
To be
what
fair-
looks like a bomber.
when I first saw that, I thought it was a really far bird's eye view of a city. You look close and you realise it is just craters and craters and craters
Mhm.
of.
Like I said,
Shells
you
and
see
stuff,
that artillery, you see that smoke, enemy aircraft especially, you see here. And
Well, I thought it
possibly
was a river, but
certain target. I did think it was a river. It looks like there is a river in there, or it could just be.
I thought that because my first view was like there's a track just underneath
Yeah.
the machine gun and there's a river behind the airboat, and I thought it was a city like
But
London.
we
or
can
something,
see the
but
devastation that's going to be here. We have lovely, clean farmland in the background, and then we have the mayhem of no man's land,
you
and
know,
where the two
something-
ones just collide.
There's something that I get from this shot. What is the player count going to be in each team? How
You
is it gonna
see
be
how
leveled up?
large this game is, and obviously
There has to be
64
a
and
big player
60
count.
on 60, 64 on 64. That is massive players, but in a World War One scenario, when you have a big map, which it looks like this, you'll have a couple of players
You
in
get
tanks.
charging from the trenches, you're going to need more players than usual.
Yes.
So
You're not going to have.
Unless they're gonna-
I mean, like I said, you see planes in here. You're going to have at least 5 people in planes on each team, a couple of people in tanks. But are you really going to get that feel of these mayhem trenches and a mayhem full-on charge with 60 and 60 players? Now we're going to see how big these maps are, because this personally looks absolutely huge. But now remember, we're getting a bird's eye view, as you said, and this could just be a slim map of simply no man's land,
yeah, but if
which
you,
is really stretched out. But that would
if you go to the
separate.
second one, the second shot, you can instantly see there is going to be aircraft fighting along with troopers
Yes.
on the ground. Here
Here we are.
Because I know from Battlefield 4 that you could probably only have 2 jets on each side at one time.
I
Hopefully now they're going to even out, probably have a good 4 to 5 maybe.
But that goes towards the
aircraft.
player count again, remember?
Yeah,
I
so
mean, it's really...
I know.
You see sandbags
how many
especially.
players would you say they're going to have on each side?
I don't know, because to get that real World War One feel, you're going to have to get all these men charging at once. Hundreds of
So-
men. But how are they going to implement that? Possibly by adding bots and AI.
I don't know.
That might
a lot of
work,
games
but I'm
I've
not
played
sure.
where it's the new, like for example, the new COD Black Ops 3. The bots in that are ridiculous. I hate them. I absolutely hate them.
But I don't know if
And
these
they
bots are
brought
going to
that
have
into this-
specified things where they're in a trench, you'll see them peeking over and possibly get shot. Like random
Maybe.
events in the battle that you can see. That would be really cool.
I think something. I like the idea of maybe to keep the flow going. If there was different objectives at different times, I think a good game mode would be where one stage you have to defuse, then one stage you have to capture this, and then one stage you have to get
Push
to
this
checkpoint.
trench. Yeah.
Like it's just different game modes all in one thing.
I mean,
think if you're
in the
gonna do something
background-
like that, you're gonna need this.
In the background, I see a building within this, and I think this means building warfare and trench warfare mix, which would make sense.
Yeah.
The Western Front. But I mean, if you've seen the movie Hill 66, then they had to take out a building. It was a really amazing movie. I recommend you go watch it. But this, it's either a building or a vehicle, and I see smoke, which looks like it's coming out of a tank. Now that tank warfare, I can't wait for.
Those, I just hope more than one. There's more than two, spots available in the tank. If you're gonna
Yes,
have
a
a gunner,
gunner.
on one side, a gunner on one side.
Now the thing
maybe
is with
even
these
if you're able
tanks,
to transport like 10 troops across the no man's
Yes.
land to get further up, maybe that would be.
now I'm
that
showing
would be
here on
decent.
my screen. Thing is with these tanks, they had a main cannon on the right and on the left of these tanks. Now does that mean that the driver can control one, but it just means if he's looking to the
Between
left,
two.
yeah, if he's looking to the left, then he's controlling that one. But if he's looking to the right, then he's only controlling that one. Or two cannon shooters and a separate driver. Which, in Battlefield, you have a separate gunner, a separate driver. Does this mean you have two gunners and possibly some machine gunners that can aim out the sides like you would in Bradleys and LAVs, or does it, or is it all driver
Because
based?
it's all about leveling out the playing field. If you're going to
Yeah.
have too many in a tank, you're not going to have enough to
Enough
take the objective.
troops, yeah.
So you gotta. This once again, it all goes down to the player count. If it's not going to be enough,
It all depends on
you
how
can't
they're
have too many
gonna
going on.
split this up. I would love to see how they're gonna do this player control. Okay, moving on.
Or
Here we
straight
see
away,
the
next
shovel.
shot,
Shovel,
not the shovel. I don't know.
but I'm saying
Hang
a
on.
shovel. I called it.
Is it a shovel or one of those things?
That is a shovel in the
the spike.
German's hand. In the German's hand, I see a shovel knocking out an English. This means I think there will be certain melee selection,
There
which will
has
be
to
amazing.
melee weapons, yeah. Well, it's not
Okay.
like it's not like because we're thinking we're going into a completely new era that we have not encountered before with
In
this
any
type of
battlefield,
graphics. Like it is going to be something completely new to us,
Yeah.
and we're going to have to like.
obviously there's
What
Verdun,
are we
but
gonna use?
the Verdun, you have the same mace, you have shovels, you have knives, you have everything. And once again, there's another thing on my channel, go check it out. But I don't know if they're going to have the same different thing or feel as this. But
Yeah.
moving on to the next one, there's easily right here, we see
in
some fighter gameplay.
air superiority.
And now
I
if you
swear,
go
if
on,
there is a separate gunner for that aircraft, it is gonna imagine like flying through the air in the middle of a dogfight, going through the cannons like you can see, and then like talking to your squad mate, just going through the like. You could probably feel in the moment completely.
Amazing.
Especially
now I will say this takes me back to the second scene we saw, which looks like it's in a desert. Now this possibly in North Africa, the fight in North Africa, and I think there will be maps for this, but what I'm looking at now is they're fighting and it is absolutely amazing. Then you see them on the Western Front fight, but like I was on about these random events, or if it's player controlled, it crashes into a windmill which then collapses and the troops are stumbling around.
if you can see the back right trooper,
Looks like
that
a
doesn't look
Russian.
British. That does not look British.
I tell you what that looks like. That looks like a German officer with a hat. Now, does this mean player customization once again, and certain roles for your character? Being an officer, being a trooper.
Yeah, it could bring it in ranks. The more ranking you have, probably the different. That's the thing, though, because you think.
What I'm interested in is the soldier on the left looks like he has a British helmet.
Yeah, no, what? Or no, that. No.
Possibly. Or are we looking at Russians on the Eastern
What's-
Front?
What's something that brings from this? From Battlefield 4, you would have the modern type of where you'd have the glasses and you'd have the helmets and the bulletproof vests, but you wouldn't really tell the difference in ranking. But in World War One, there was a definite difference in clothing between
Patches,
the ranking
hats,
officers
overall
and stuff like
appearance,
that. So maybe the higher the rank you go,
level
the
progression.
different type of clothing.
As you level, you get different types of clothing that you can put on. But what I'm thinking is, on the left, it really looks like a British helmet. But are we looking at the Russians here, on the Eastern Front?
If you cut the shot just before the plane crashes, just before the plane crashes, you see a red aircraft, which was German, wasn't it?
Yes, but like again, on the Eastern Front, Russia and Germany going at it. But obviously that is a British plane. I thought when it first doing these dogfight, but I'm looking at this officer with red band, brownish clothing, and on the left, which looks like really looks like a back of a British helmet.
German fighter and a British plane.
We're gonna have to see. I think this is on the Western Front, and probably battle in the background.
The guy on the left is definitely British. Definitely British.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you go to the part where the thing literally is about to change shot, you can definitely see the guy. Not.
Oh, I keep going out of play.
He doesn't. I'm telling you, he could be. Could it be French?
Are we possibly now? Like I said earlier, we are looking at these different factions, and I didn't mention the French. Possibly,
you could have,
French, British, Russian, Austrian, everything.
Because Battlefield 4, you used to play as the American or the Chinese or the Russian, wasn't it? There was different.
Yes.
You'd go to different countries when you go to these maps. Maybe with this, it would be probably mixed, you know?
Yeah.
In World War One, it was mixed. They did fight with each other. So maybe you'll have French troopers with those classes, and maybe British troopers with their own types of classes on the same battlefield.
Now, what I'm looking at here in the next scene, this is inside of a tank. Now,
slamming something down.
I think this is it's the accelerator, but this is a British tank, and there you see like I said, this looks like Algeria in the West, North
you
Africa.
See the German trooper jumping out of the way.
Precisely. Now he is in desert clothing, also representing North Africa. But on the left, we see a weapon that looks like an AT gun.
That is fucking.
He looks amazing. I'm just saying that now.
That guy carrying that sniper rifle?
Yes, on the left. It looks like an AT gun.
That looks like it's a one-shot.
Now, if we go in, it looks like he's wearing a gas mask and a hood, which possibly means snipers, recon class, indeed, and possibly an AT rifle for recon class, possibly.
Maybe.
But I'm also looking at this other scene where he pushed the thing forward, the lever.
Charging in, man. That is.
Yeah, but when he's pushing the lever, does this mean we can have when we're going into the tank, we only have a small slit which we can look out, and we can look around inside of the tank? Or is it going to be like the Abrams, where if you're looking first person, you're absolutely looking outside the tank, but it's limited?
From the third person view, it's probably going to be a bit more different, but from inside, I definitely think it's going to be, you are purely looking through a little, probably not a little slit, it's probably going to be a bit more zoomed in and expanded, but maybe when you look through it, it's going to have a little targeting system, like a little crosshair or something, maybe, because you've got to have the advantage, or maybe that would be the disadvantage in the tank, because you're so heavily armoured and so heavy gun. Your disadvantage is your sight.
Now, like you mentioned, this cavalry charge, let's just watch it now. This proves what we said earlier. Cavalry charge looks like it's going to be bigger than the game, but then we have the fighters coming in and strafing them.
Oh my god,
this is what really got us. But in the background, what he's wearing a hat, but I don't know if that's just this uniform. Like we saw earlier, the Germans had this deserty thing. Is this possibly German-controlled North African troops, or because that looks like a British fighter coming in?
That I'm trying to pause it on it.
Yeah, so I think it is. It looks like it. Yeah.
Can I just say the choice of music for this trailer?
Amazing.
Spot on.
So
that.
This does look like a German cavalry charge, because if you pause at the right moment,
at the very front, just before the plane goes out of shot, the guy at the very
he's
front,
wearing a German helmet.
He's wearing a German helmet, exactly.
So I think this is German-controlled North African countries, and troops like this which fight for Germany but not necessarily are German. I think we get to see them in these type of maps, and that would be amazing.
But he's fighting alongside someone who definitely isn't German.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is possibly German-controlled North African troops, which we will see on the battlefield. If we go to the next scene...
In building firefight.
Yes, but I'm pausing it where he's just barging through the door. This looks like a Russian. Like, obviously we have...
He's shooting back. To be honest, that could be something from the campaign.
Possibly.
I don't know why.
I think that is.
That building looks like it's very
Now, I've paused it and I think I see long hair. Right here, my house is over.
Oh,
is this possibly the female that we saw earlier?
Oh, maybe.
Now, obviously,
that's long hair.
That is. Okay, so is this possibly the female we saw earlier, acting as a civilian, possibly a spy behind enemy lines? We have seen this before. Is this possibly the storyline?
They do the same sort of campaign with the last Battlefield, because the last Battlefield 4, for me, their campaigns haven't been the main part of it.
Yes.
But for me, COD has always been about the campaign for me. Battlefield 4, by whatever
all
it's
about the
been, is
multiplayer.
always multiplayer, yeah.
So I think this is possibly a campaign because I do see long hair, and is this the woman we saw earlier on the horse in Algeria or in that desert area? I think it is.
I think we could have a story here with this.
Yes,
character.
I think we have met our new main character, and you know what? I'm happy with it. I feel like this campaign's going to be amazing. She's running through a building.
Everything these days is going female. Star Wars, jeez, everything, man.
Everything's...
Nothing against
This does look amazing. Now, I've just run to the next scene, but we see her running through kind of like a palace, which does look like a French one, actually. I'll be honest. I don't expect in World War One, like a rush-up thing, because obviously they were really low on economy, but this possibly in France. So we're looking at a campaign possibly in France with our main female character, or North Africa / France, possibly Italy, possibly.
But it could be just literally it could be a British woman that's just
behind enemy lines,
story.
like science, precisely.
Like throughout the whole game,
trapped in France, possibly, or
stuck behind enemy lines.
Indeed. So we go into the next scene. Here we see gas. I mentioned this earlier, but
and the weapon choice though.
I am interested in this weapon. This is indeed a British light machine gun used during the war. It has a drum mag on top. This was actually really effective because the Americans had one, which it was open mag on the bottom, got full of mud. But this was really effective, the drum mag on the top. And I think this possibly looks like the Vickers or the Lewis machine gun used by British light machine gunners all throughout the World War.
What's bugging me about this one is the scenery. Now I want to say it's a forest, but when you look at like the foliage on the ground, it reminds me of a jungle, man. I'm afraid it does. Like. Especially on the right hand side where the sun is, you see these.
Now look at this thing in the background though.
The castle, like the ruins or something. There has to be a battle that this is copied of.
This does look really amazing. Now this reminds me of.
Straight away.
Go ahead.
Real quickly, if you just press play and go like just before the end of the shot, you see that he puts on a gas mask. So that shows you something that can be put on and off during a fight. When there is gas, so that shows customizable looking. Probably you can put it on whenever you want when there's gas, obviously.
I'm at 031 and I have just seen what looks like a World War One Juggernaut or a heavy character, possibly support class. This guy seems to be wielding a very, very big gun and is gunning down, if you go later on, French troops. Hell yeah. So can we possibly... This is a German, obviously, shooting down French troops. But what is this? He is holding a big gun. Which, now, if you look at a minigun, you hold it with the top and the bottom and the bit at the back.
I'll tell you what,
that is what it looks like. But it's not going to be a minigun because it's World War One.
Have you ever seen something like that in World War One?
No, possibly. What I'm thinking is light machine gun with a thing at the top which he's holding and he's pushing into battle. Because if you go later on, you see the French. Now, there are grenades on his back. In the background, we see the rifles that they have, but we also see a hill. Now, on this hill, tons and tons of trenches.
That is not France. That is not France.
It doesn't look like France. Possibly South France / Italy.
I'm going to go for Asia again. or
Asia?
Because I don't know why, but to me that map looks like it comes off the previous shot with forest.
Yes, that does look
with
like
the
it.
ruins.
Now, obviously, this just looks amazing, but I'm looking at the ranks on the shoulders, bullets, overall customization, because we have 2 troopers with helmets, and in the background we see like a French troop, which looks like that is not a barrel of a rifle, possibly another LMG, but look at the helmet, customizable, and we can't tell these allies, because if you see in the bottom left a crashed allied plane.
Let me check. I can't really see it. It's too quick, man.
It is. This is really like it's so awesome. But we see bullets pinging off type of armor. Now, I'm interested because this person right here, what is he firing?
Yeah, that.
But I'm saying it's an LMG, and this is like a support class with heavy armor.
Wait, are you talking about which shot?
Where the guy's gunning down the French. I think I know where this map is.
He's not actually gunning down the French. I think that's a completely different place. If you look at the sky, I think that's probably somewhere in no man's
But even
land.
then, if we go back on, if we keep on going,
that's Russian.
If we keep on going, we see.
Let me do a bit of googling. Hang on. I swear that could be Russian. 2 seconds, mate. Well, carry on. I can keep talking.
So if we keep on going, we see air combat, which looks like it's in the same map. Fighting over it, and there is explosions, no man's land at the bottom, and it is in the same area. Now, is this possibly the main map we're going to see? Because this looks very large, once again.
The same map like it was on Battlefield 4, but I think this is definitely air superiority. Look at the sky, it's full of planes. It's got
full of planes, balloons, but the map is very large. Once again, so if there is possibly infantry warfare, I think they do minimise the maps. Minimise the maps a little bit, just to get the right size. But amazing. We see guns with Vickers on them, British, German, possibly some French in there, and it does look amazing. Now we do see German planes which have the free wings. They are very manoeuvrable, so possibly we are seeing certain classes of stealth, quick manoeuvrability, speed, and advantages and disadvantages of these certain planes. And Germany might have better planes, or outnumbered. I don't know.
Yeah,
but we do air superiority.
I just
100%.
did some searching, and I typed in World War One Juggernaut, and there is something about Juggernauts from that. There is something there. Definitely, the images there definitely look like the same.
It's possibly a support character once again, or possibly like a hero, like in Battlefront, possibly a main character that your team can unlock, or a random event, AI.
It'll just come up with a train for me.
So let's keep on going. Air superiority, multiple maps. I think one almost confirmed.
Yeah.
So let's keep on going. Oh, we hear shouting, and a German tank, and indeed trench warfare. We see British troops.
There's going to be that scenario where everyone's waiting in the trenches, ready for the whistle to blow. I hope that's a thing. I want there to be that atmosphere of the quiet.
There is a German tank indeed driving over the trench. This does look amazing.
Trench warfare, British there, loading his look, you can see him putting on his bayonet.
Yes.
Putting on his bayonet before the battle. Someone climbing it. I definitely.
Someone in the background as well. Now these weapons is either going to be the Lee Enfield rifle that the British troops were mainly used, or the Springfield, which the Americans used. But I don't think we will see the Americans. The Americans was in World War One, indeed, but maybe we might not see them.
To be honest, I would rather see this game go a bit towards more home, like from us being British, obviously. But a lot of the Battlefield games have been American-based, obviously.
Indeed,
developers American.
Now,
but this is going to be European by the looks.
The map looks like it's Western. It's going to be a Western Front. This field, lovely trees, but then this German tank out of nowhere, and then it goes to a black screen. But if we keep on going, we see flamethrower. Now this was used before. Everyone hated because it was so OP and it had such short range in other games and in other battlefields. But they are bringing it back, and hopefully they fixed it. This first introduced by Germany in World War One, and they were absolutely amazing. Now whether this is where you shoot the tank off the flamethrower and it all blows up.
I'm going to point out real quick. You
The
know that
mask.
tank that you said that goes over the trench?
Yes.
If you look at it and pause, it's actually got a blue, white, and red flag.
Yeah,
on the
that
side.
was the German flag.
Blue, white, and red.
Or
I thought the Germans had the bloody orange.
no,
button.
I know that, but I'm on about like on their tanks they would have like red and stuff. But could
No,
you say this is a start of a
French
battle?
flag. That is the French flag on the side.
Could this be a start of a battle with the tanks coming over? They're preparing their bayonets. So if this is a French tank going over, are they preparing to do a full-on charge?
It could. I don't remember them ever going over friendly troopers, but just seeing that French flag there,
They had to do
I
it
don't know
sometime
why-
just to get to the front line. But I mean,
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why with such aggressiveness. Maybe it was a charge. Maybe.
I think
But
it possibly is a
obviously, I'll just
charge.
point out here. Obviously, everything in this trailer is like super enhanced. It's supposed to be there for the epicness. It's not actual.
Yes,
game
but
footage.
I
But
think this would be amazing.
It would. You can read a lot from this.
Now
Definitely, you
we
can
see
what
barbed
type of
wire
players.
quite a lot in this. Is this going to be a simple block? Because, like I said in Verdun, if you step in barbed wire and you keep on moving and struggling around, your character's going to die because he's going to cut himself in his legs, going to get trapped and die.
Yeah.
But is this going to be just something you walk into and your character keeps on
I
walking
think
into it
this
as if
could
it's a
be
wall?
map
Or is it going to be
boundaries.
a
This
trap?
would be quite a good map boundary, maybe.
Possibly. And different defences for trenches, or like you have to walk through them, crawl under them even. Or
Tunnels. I hope
possibly
there's
wire
tunnels.
cutters. Wire cutters.
that could be. That has to be something. That has to be
Possibly.
something. You know, instantly, you know what kind of customizations you're going to get. Because if you press play and go straight to the next one, you're presented with a flipping flamethrower.
Yes.
Like, come on. That has to be a thing. I want to. Maybe it's something you can maybe pick up, or it's going to be something like What I don't want is weapons like the flamethrower being something like
Pick up.
the bow and arrow from Battlefield 4. That's something that you
yeah.
have to unlock through like countless amounts of challenges. I don't want that.
But
okay, 'cause-
this will be amazing because I wouldn't want to see too many flamethrowers out
no,
the field
no,
at
I'm
once.
talking about maybe it's something you find. It could
Yeah.
be a completely separate vehicle.
Like
itself
in the trench,
map,
you find
so-
it on top of a ammo box
Yeah,
in your
yeah.
trench. That would possibly
Just-
work. But I mean,
just like
yet
when
again,
you
look at
go
the
around on
clothing.
Battlefield 4,
Look at
and
the
you probably
clothing.
see like a
Like
yeah.
I'm going back to this type of hero thing where you can unlock it if you find it. Like a flamethrower, you can unlock it because then you get all this new clothing. The Juggernaut, possibly another one you can find, possibly
Yeah.
even more. But I love the mask and I love the tank on his back and even the flamethrower itself. You see the glowing of the fire on the wire. That rhymed. Glowing of the fire on the
Oh.
wire. But I mean, it just looks amazing. It looks like they're going to take the battlefront, the glowing of the lightsabers
Yeah.
on the walls, and use that with this flamethrower on wire, metal objects, and you
Yeah.
can even see in his goggles. Looks like he's burning down
also
a trench.
probably that will be presented when this game comes out. A lot of the previous Battlefields, obviously, like Battlefield 3 and 4, the HUD is quite filled up with your health level.
Yeah,
But I wonder if this is going to be simplified to
possibly.
just a very simple HUD where you probably see your health, but I would hate it if you had a map. I don't know why, but
no.
I feel like if you had a map in this kind of situation,
One
and you could
thing
see
I
where
am
the
worried
trenches
about with
were.
the map, because in the map, in Battlefield, you can see where your enemies are and stuff, but are we going to see where you have to know? Because if that isn't there, and if this UI HUD is really decreased, some people are going to struggle to know who's friendly and who's enemy. So I don't know if they're
Maybe-
going to remove friendly fire or friendly fire to be off
I
because
think maybe they're going to bring in
possibly.
probably a system where you're able to still like
have it
point
on.
out and target the. 'cause
Yeah.
You had those I hope you know when you're in the trenches and you'd have those mirror boxes
Yes,
where you can
looking
see
over the
everything.
trench.
Maybe people can look through them and spot out the targets for you, and then they're on your map for you. Maybe
You can attack.
because it's not like you're gonna have UAVs and shit back then, are you? So
No, you're not.
it's gonna
Possibly
be
scout planes, because obviously the commander might come into
Yeah,
play
they
with this. So the
Yeah.
commander role, call in charges, call in where to defend on the trench, a scout plane or a biplane going over the top, which the enemy team can shoot down.
Yeah. Again,
With
this brings in like
the
my
commander
wish,
role.
I hope it's going to be different game modes, not
Yeah.
just one.
Now,
you've gotta charge
if we do
this.
have this commander role, is he going to be on the battlefield? Because, I
He
mean, it would
could
be
the
cool
one to blow
if
the
he...
whistle.
There we go, like I said, telling the team when to attack, when to stay in their
Yeah.
trench, when to attack on the enemy trench, what to do, when to help,
Yeah.
or even supply these type of vehicles like planes, tanks, artillery, because we do see artillery in this, and I'll show you. So if we continue playing, we see a train. This
A flipping
possibly
train.
campaign.
I think-
I'm thinking
yeah,
this
I was
is
gonna say,
campaign.
this train could be campaign. I'd find it very difficult to find a train moving. Like, I know
In
they
like a
did
map, it's going to
Battlefield
do
4
something.
in
Plus, the
the-
map's so plain, so I think this is campaign. Possibly some more story. Possibly because going through North Africa into playing, going from North Africa, which we saw in the first place,
Yeah.
up to France and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
continue
the
playing.
Next couple of shots, you see the next shot straight away.
Now, this reminds me of the
Destroy it.
HMS Warspite. I don't know why.
I
No,
don't
not the
know how
War.
it's
Yeah,
gonna
the
implement-
Warspite.
we've never seen this before in Battlefield. I've not seen a lot. of
Possibly
people
naval gameplay, or like I said, random events within the map that changed the map.
If they did naval gameplay, if they had
What I
that
think this
option-
is because of the next scene we see air combat, and I think this is possibly an air superiority map. But you have this naval battle happening in the background, which can affect you. If you fly over enemy ship, the AA will shoot at you, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like an interact where you can, if you're injured,
Yes,
go
that's the
to your
thing.
ships.
Back in Battlefield 4, you'd have the AI anti-aircraft gunner that would just shoot down any enemy jets when you're in the spawn.
Yeah.
If you remember, it would just automatically completely obliterate
There is
you.
one
So
more
maybe-
thing from this scene, which I'm very happy to see. Missiles. You see on
Where?
here a back gunner of this thing when he's chasing, where the German plane's like in the top right. On his wings, you see missiles, and the red plane looks like it's dropping a bomb or a torpedo. Now, this
What?
instantly makes me think that this air-to-air combat, you have targets like destroy enemy target, destroy a train, or
Yeah.
destroy enemy battleships in a battle below you.
It could be
Possibly.
part of an air superiority map where the ships are fighting in the background.
Yeah,
as
and
they
you
are.
can destroy them to get XP, and that
Yeah.
may be, like I said, another main goal that you need to defend your ships, destroy the enemy ships. But if we continue going, let's see what we can see.
Next shot instantly, the plane that you see crash in the background isn't a fighter. It's got two propellers. That looks like a transport aircraft. That looks like something that would carry troops into battle. I would say this
I
sort
don't
of
think they
thing,
were around in Model 1 though, buddy.
but you can see the two propellers. You can see it.
Possibly a bomber.
I would definitely
Bomber.
say
I'm instantly thinking bomber.
I would say this is campaign. Straight
Maybe.
off that. I don't know how they'd implement something like that. I don't know whether you'd be able to fly heavy aircraft or something that say you're able to call in. But I do
Indeed.
remember when you used to have the Battlefield 4, you'd have the AC-130 you could call in. You never saw that.
You can even
crash.
get in it, but I mean, with this,
You never saw it crash. You could never fly. I don't think something.
I
that
think
type
you
of
possibly
aircraft-
could, because you do get these heavy aircraft in Battlefield 4 that you can have. But in the next shot, which really does make me really happy, we see someone firing artillery. Now, does this mean you can find artillery in the trench and play it, or do you have to call it in? But I think it's just that you can fire it yourself.
Yeah.
Possibly we see someone covering the ears, and this is either a campaign or it means gunfire whizzing past you finally has effects on your character. In Verdun, the suppression effect. If there's a really loud noise, your ears will ring.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like they're going to implement in the game to add more thing. What do you think?
And definitely the sound effects when you actually hear it go off, it kind of like rings. So obviously it's probably foreshadowing that this is going to be something you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to deal with
Yeah.
losing your power of hearing in a battle. You are going to lose probably maybe when there's shell shock. You never know. They could.
The explosions in this game, I will admit, and the crashes, like I said, I think it's going to change the Battlefield so much, because in the next scene we see a crashing plane
But
and
look at the weapon.
pilots.
It's a sniper. Sniper
For what?
rifle. You got a scope there on the side.
What, when he's in the plane?
No, when you go to the next shot, when there's the explosion in the front, you see the guy hold up a sniper.
I didn't notice that.
There's a scope on the side of his rifle, like directly on the side of it.
I can't find this. Do you know what
Right,
time
so-
it is?
It's 0:49.
I'm gonna have to try and pause this one.
Yeah, it's a pause. It's a pause quick moment.
I really don't know where you're seeing this, buddy.
Right, so you know when he's like holding his ears,
Oh, this shot. My bad.
directly after that, directly after he holds his ears, pause it and play it again until you get to it. He's holding a rifle.
I see. Yes, this is a right, but this is like a player point perspective, where
exactly,
the things
exactly, and that explosion in front
Has
of him.
blinded
This is a
him.
player point perspective.
and staggered him.
That is going to be insane.
So it's blinded him,
Absolutely
staggered him,
insane.
and I think it's just put him off conscious. But this does look amazing. Now, if we go to the next shot, this is the big part that I love. We have the planes. You see a pilot up in his plane. Looks like he's just shot down that plane.
Yeah.
This does look awesome. And as we see again, two people in the plane. You have a gunner at the back and a guy at the front, but the plane is red, possibly a German fighter.
Yeah.
But this does show a little bit more on the fighter perspective. And these things, first person, going to be amazing. Got that sight in the right, which you can aim
Yeah, so
down.
I
Gonna
feel
be
like
amazing.
This is probably going to be a lot more practical, a lot more manual compared to the old ones. More.
Mhm. Could
it's
you imagine
gonna
what having a
require a
back
lot
gunner
more
is
skill.
like, though? The gunner at the back, just looking at the tail as he dives
And
down,
yeah.
go up. That'll be absolutely amazing, and I can't
Because
wait
you're
to
not
see
going to
that.
have any auto targeting systems. You're not going to have auto aim. You're not going to
Mhm.
have lock on. So it's going to
Especially no
be
lock on.
very much a very manual type of gameplay
Uh-huh.
where it's going to require you to put your maximum effort into this sort of. If you want to win,
I think we
do it
will see
yourself.
things like AT grenades as well, because we didn't have rocket launchers and that stuff back in
no, it's
this time. So AT grenades and I think more variety of grenades are going to be a big thing.
yeah.
So let's carry on.
The
Instantly-
next scene, it has to be campaign. That looks like a main protagonist there. That looks like it is
Yes.
going to be the main character because I don't.
There's
think
him and the female, which I think is like a team.
Is he the same guy that holds his ears? when the thing goes
Possibly,
on?
that might be a good
I
shout.
think this is definitely a main guy right here. This guy is going to be probably
Just
campaign.
look at the graphics though.
I know it looked, and the Zeppelin.
They have literally put pores, like obviously your skin has different like pores where the sweat and all that.
Yeah.
They've got all of that on it. But let's
But
continue.
Battlefield has always been amazing. with
Yeah,
their
They
graphics,
indeed have,
always.
but I think they've really outdone themselves. This is amazing. But
This is.
let's be silent for this next 5 seconds.
Let's watch
Just
it.
everyone watch. Right,
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield
I like the
1,
name, you know.
but
I like the name. I definitely think that's
the
it.
Zeppelin. Let's all focus on the Zeppelin for a second. This looks like it's possibly in France, like again Western Front, but possibly Germany.
That is definitely a German Zeppelin. I think with that Zeppelin, that could be the main target. That could be like.
That
the
I
last
think
mission
that,
that you
yeah,
have to
this
take out,
indeed.
maybe.
But remember, I think this is type of Germany.
That
Because
that
there
a
is
German
a
flag.
shows.
That is
I
definitely
did,
a German
yeah.
flag.
But I think we are going to see lots of fighting and stuff.
Not a flag,
And maybe we saw
Zeppelin.
before where he's possibly Espiritu will see some more Zeppelins. But earlier when we saw them fighting and running through the building, I think we
Yeah.
will see fighting in Germany
Definitely.
and possibly behind enemy lines. But this Zeppelin does really do amazing. Hopefully we can do this in game. And I will admit,
honestly,
Apache,
this is going to be something we have to. Play.
I'm very
This is-
excited.
Real quick, I don't know whether anyone else would agree with me, but personally, Battlefield has always been my first-person shooter when it comes to when I want to play Warfare. Compared to COD, the campaign has always been out there for me, obviously.
Mhm.
But recently, COD has just completely, it's horrible. Like,
Yeah.
have you actually seen the like ratio on it? It's got
Mm.
like 190,000 likes and then 450,000 dislikes. Like,
Mm.
it is completely. But when
I
you
will
see
say though, the
Battlefield,
campaign does look like it's going to be amazing. I think in Germany it's going to be based.
definitely this. I hope they can bring it back up with the campaign in this one because I definitely like to see
Indeed.
a World War One. I personally, I've never actually played a World War One game, so this is. I hope they can bring it to the
Indeed.
table here. This is.
Patchy, bro, this has been amazing. Battlefield
Thank
1.
you for having me.
Battlefield 1 will be. Oh, there
It's
we
gonna
go.
be remade. It's gonna be remade.
Like it says here, if you have an Xbox One, you can get it early on EA Access. Battlefield 1, available worldwide October 21st. But there is one more thing before you go. The picture on the front cover, we see possibly another main character. A man holding a pistol, a German Luger type of pistol, but I'm super interested on what is on his side. That is a Sten,
He's got
British
something in
made.
his left hand, man, and
I think that's a mace. I think that is a mace.
And if you look above him, you
Zeppelin.
see a flipping Zeppelin. And
So,
then you see
instantly-
his loadout. Look at his loadout. You can see a machine
Sten.
gun there.
That is a Sten. It was made by the British to replace the Thompson, especially during World War II. But in World War One, it was very much used, and it was one of the first machine guns.
He's got
But this does
a
look
cape.
amazing.
This guy looks awesome, man.
He does. I think we do see another main character here, possibly 3 main characters. This guy does look amazing. He wasn't actually in the trailer, but I think we are going to find out
No,
who this man is soon.
Is he?
He was in the trailer,
No,
so he is a mystery to us. Mystery man right there.
Yeah, and he's got a sniper on the left.
Oh, sniper, machine gun, a mace,
This
and a
guy's kitted
pistol.
out for war, man. He's a one-man
He has.
army, this is.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Battlefield 1, available worldwide October 21st. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for joining me, Apache.
You're welcome, man. It's been a pleasure.
This was amazing. Oh god, guys, make sure to go actually view the overall trailer. Link in the description. If you
Definitely.
did like the picking away at it and some ideas that we had, please subscribe
Yeah.
and like, and tell us what you saw. If we missed anything, post it in the comments, because we would love to see what you saw and just double check and get as much and extract as much out of the trailer as much as possible. That Juggernaut and this man is going to be a big mystery to me, and I will be thinking about it until October 21st. But like I said, thank you for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.